Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Ashley and today we are going to be doing my Spoopathon TBR. So for those of you guys who do not know, Spoopathon is a month-long readathon in the month of October hosted by the lovely Spoops over at Spoopathon. So I will leave a link to her announcement video in the description box down below so you guys can check out all the information. So the premise of this readathon is basically to escape a haunted house. So as you can see, I've got my lovely wizard's wand here, my beautiful witch's hat, and of course my beautiful, I don't know if you can see for the camera, let me pick that up, my Corpse Bride t-shirt. So as you guys know, if you live in Australia like I do, Halloween is not as big as a thing as it may be over in the States, but I always love an excuse to get dressed up, as you can see from my magic wand and my hat. So let's get into the books I will be reading for the month of October. So the first book I will be reading in the month of October is for the prompt to reread a comfort read, and this book is probably one of my absolute favourites if any of you know me that well, and that is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. So this is the first book in the Bone Season series, and this follows a young girl called Paige who is a clairvoyant in a futuristic dystopian London, and basically she is part of a criminal syndicate. So these guys are basically driven underground because if they are caught using their powers, they basically get arrested and killed. So one day Paige is caught using her powers on the train to visit her dad, and she is taken away to what she thinks is basically her death, and this opens the world so much more. So this is one of my all-time favourite series, and I'm very looking to rereading this in the month of October. This is also going to be part of a vlog series I will be doing. I'm not going to give you guys the details of that just yet because I am quite excited for that. So I'm very excited to bring that to you guys in the near future. Prompt number 2 is a graphic novel. Now this I had a little bit of trouble trying to find because I do not own a lot of graphic novels, but I did find one at the library which I thought would be perfect for not only the Halloween aspect but also just the general theme of the readathon, and that is Birds of Prey. So I absolutely adored the movie Birds of Prey with Margot Robbie. I remember the first time I watched it, I was in absolute hysterics for half of the movie. I know some people didn't like it, but I quite enjoyed this. I quite enjoyed the movie. I loved the character of Harley Quinn. She's just feisty. She's so amazing, and as we all know, if you're a DC fan, that Harley is a bisexual with poison ivy. So this also fulfills an extra prompt of the LGBTQ plus prompt. So I'm very excited to read this. As you can probably see, it's got some awesome graphics. So yes, I'm quite interested to see what this is about, because I'm not quite into the comics as much as I am the movies. So I'm quite interested to see where this goes in terms of story. Okay guys, so prompt number 3 was to read a new genre. So this can be a new genre that you don't particularly know about, or a genre that you don't read a whole lot of. So I am not really a big contemporary reader. I tend to enjoy more of a fantasy novel and fantasy world. But I do have a book that perfectly fits this prompt, and I thought I would go with Misconception by Rebecca Freeborn. So this is by an Australian author. This follows a young couple called Ali and Tom. They've been happily married for 10 years, and they are expecting their first child when unfortunately they discover that their newborn baby has died. So this, I feel, will follow the aftermath of that, and this young couple trying to put their lives back together after such a obviously traumatic event. So I will obviously point out that this will have themes of grief, loss, death of a child, the breakup of a marriage. Yes, so I'm not sure how I'm going to enjoy this. Like I say, I don't read a whole lot of contemporary, but this is by an Australian author as well, so I thought this would just be a perfect way to sort of slowly introduce me to contemporary. I really hope I do enjoy this, but I feel I may tear up as well, because yes, it's gonna be a sad one, I know that. Okay, so prompt number 4 was trick or treat. So if you're unfamiliar with Spoops' pin the tail on the TBR card game, she often has a trick or treat. So basically the way this works is you pick a book that you really want to read, and then you pick a book that you are not as excited to read. So I reached out to you guys on both the Discord and my Twitter, and the 2 choices I gave were The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty or Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahern. So Gods and Monsters was my treat book, and Kingdom of Copper was my trick book. So the winner of that was Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the sequel to The City of Brass. Now, I gave the first book 3 out of 5 stars. I found I really took my time to get into the story. The ending, however, did really pick this up for me. The reason why I'm probably not as keen to get to this as early as this was, there is a character from the first book that I feel has a more, probably is going to play a bigger part in this story, and I just found this character not really engaging. I just didn't care for them, basically. So there were 2 characters I really did like. I won't go into detail about who they were, but I did actually have a little sneak peek in this book to see if a certain character I like appears a bit more in this book, because the way this first book ended, I thought, oh, maybe this character's not going to be there as often. If you read this, you might know what I'm talking about, but I can confirm that the character I do like does make another appearance in this. So yes, I am looking forward to reading this a little bit more now, but hopefully I don't struggle as much to get through this book as I did the first one, because yes, it just took a really long time for me to get into the story, and I think if I hadn't been reading the first one for a readathon a couple of months ago, I probably would have DNF'd it. Like I said, I'm glad the ending picked up. I'm quite glad I kept going, but yes, I'm quite interested to see how this one turns out. Okay guys, and the final prompt is to read it after dark. So I think this is pretty self-explanatory. So that is to basically read any book after dark. So because Gods and Monsters lost in the trick or treat pick, I thought as a reward for finishing Kingdom of Copper, I will pick it up. So Gods and Monsters is of course the 3rd and final book in the Serpent and Dove trilogy. Now, I originally did have this on my August TBR, but unfortunately I did not get to it. So with it being October and spooky season, I thought what a perfect opportunity to pick this up. So I'm not going to go into spoilers about what this is about. I do know that quite a few people either they loved it or they really hated it. So, but I really loved Blood and Honey. I know a lot of people hated that book as well, but I loved Blood and Honey. I got through that in a day. Basically started that about 9 o'clock in the morning and finished it at 3 o'clock that afternoon. So it took me about 6 hours to read, but yes, so I'm quite hoping that this is a good finale, because I just love these characters so much. So yes, I'm quite excited to be finally picking this up after 2 months. But yes, that is going to be my final book on the TBR. Okay guys, so this lovely little stack here is all the books I will be reading in the month of October. So this is a quite manageable TBR. There's only 5 books on this. The reason for this being is that I find I've been burning myself out by assigning a big amount of books that realistically I may not get through. So I think that this is quite an achievable little stack of books. So of course I've got the Bone Season as a comfort reread, and I'm pretty sure I can charge through all of these pretty quickly. So that is my October Spoopathon TBR. Okay guys, so that is it from me. Please feel free to let me know down in the comments what you guys are reading for Spoopathon, if you're participating in it. If you're looking forward to Halloween as much as I am, you can obviously tell I'm a bit of a big Halloween fan. So if you guys like this video, please do give it the thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!